this morning, what we would like to work along with you with is the rollout of the GRA's eServices, and more so the introduction and implementation of our e-filing, right? In a bid to improve the general efficiency, the GRA has been for some time now working with its vendors to provide an electronic filing platform for you. My name is Ceci Jones. I'm the head of IT at the GRA. So in general, the agenda for today is we want to talk some about eServices and share a common understanding as to why we believe it necessary. Give you an idea of the process descriptions and some responsibilities that we have and some responsibilities that you may have. So let me show you what the sign-up process is like. We have a small video compiled, but in terms of just going through the steps, in essence, all we require from you is an email address, and this email address is saying that you're authorizing the GRA to send you, the company employer, verification code, which you're going to use that now to sign up to our service. Right? So it must be the fact that the verification code is coming to you to that address, please ensure it is an official company address. Alright? So you provide us with the email, we send you back a verification code or token via that email. You then just click a link. Using that verification code and your TIN, you sign up, complete some minor details regarding answering questions about security questions. If you were to lose your password, questions will be posed to you to confirm your identity and so on. And thereafter, you file your return and do whatever else you would like to do on your services. So this is what the site is likely to look like. You may change some graphics and so on. And there's a demonstration here of what the sign-up process looks like. So in essence, you provide your TIN, and we're going to take out the verification code to sign up. Thereafter, we just ask you the personal details I just asked about. What username you'd like to use, password, security question and answer. So after that, it sends you another email confirming that your sign-up was successful, and thereafter you can click that link and start using the site. So once you've signed up, our next task really is simply filing your PAYE. So this is relatively trivial as well. question was, do you need to combine the weekly and the monthly payrolls into one? And the answer to that is yes. Because even for filing of the Form 5, which is the monthly PAYE submission, really we ask you to submit that once per month rather than every week. And in that regard, you really do a consolidated submission every week. Similarly, if you're going to submit at the end of the year, we're asking you to consolidate all of them for the entire year's earnings into a single file. So the question here was, one, junior staff are on electronic payroll, senior staff would be on manual payroll. What I'm suggesting is have your programmer for the junior payroll produce the file electronically. And this is a good reason why we chose to use the CSV format, because after that you simply need to open the file and type in the remainder and ensure the balances at the bottom are correct. The count and the balance, that's it.
Is all of this mandatory for this year?
It's not mandatory, but we're kindly asking that you do your best to file, because there are some other initiatives. Like I said, this is the start of other innovations. If we don't get this right, it delays what we can do for you. And even though I know you have concerns, technically, I'm not sure if operationally it has a significant impact, but technically it's fairly trivial, and this is part of the reason why we sought to go to the payroll vendors, because a relatively simple thing for them to do in the software to be able to produce this for you. I know, for instance, like in our case where you have manual going along with electronic, you have need for some manual intervention and tweaking. But once you read through the documentation, you will recognize it's a relatively trivial task. Because if you, like for those persons who are doing the Form 2 already on Excel Illusion, I guarantee your format is going to look very similar to this. So it's not to say that it's changing a whole lot, it's just you know, the names and so on. Some relatively simple tweaks.
What about this non-declaration form? You have like 2 employees and total value. How do you manage that? When you file your form, you say,
or the summary sheet. Well, the summary sheet really is represented by that last row I mentioned earlier. Let me see if you get an example. So this is what our sample sheet we have going here, right? The very last row, in essence, represents the employer details and summarize the applicant. So this last row here is the TIN for the employer, the name of the company, the address for the company, and here we represent like the year and period and year, sorry. Oh, the count, sorry, yeah. So this represents the count of employees, the year we're aiming, and then the totals. So that there in essence is what your summary form, most of the details that your summary form will have.
That's not in Excel, but why not you generate something for a sprint after the submit?
It does.
It tells you the employees and the amount.
Yeah, so that is a document we expect you to bring in when you pay. Because it says that your file submitted, and this is the totals, and this is your amount due, and so on. Yeah, it will come to you by email. So once you have a successful submission, you can send that email with that detail. No, it's just, yeah, just that one little summary sheet, just as confirmation that we'll pay on the thing online. Once we get the online payment, that's it. It's just upload and pay. Well, that document that will send back to you will serve as confirmation that you have, and also reiterate the amount that is due.
So suppose it's submitted by the 20th of February, there's error. What happens? Is it that we get the penalty for the submission?
It depends, right? because there is a particular error that we know is a real issue. Take for instance, we've worked with some other agencies where they got the incorrect TIN, let's say, for an employee. But an employee worked for them for 3 months, disappeared. Try as you might, you can't find back the employee to confirm his details. How do you correct that? You simply can't. So in that regard, you kind of have to accept that this is erroneous and either try other methods to get that record cleaned up. But we don't want to prevent you from filing everybody else because of that one error that you cannot solve. Alright? So that's why I say it depends. But for any other sort of issues, we're asking you to try as best as you can to resolve those errors and get a successful file. But we do have information on that card again with contact details, the person you may call, so you can get support from the IT team if it's a technical issue. If it's a tax-related issue, the tax advisory department will be more than willing to assist you to get something done. Okay, so now we have a big favor to ask you. Outside of just signing up for the services, we would like to ask you to assist your employees to file their returns, right? So normally you're required to print the 70 slips, issue to their staff, and they in turn use those details to prepare their individual income tax, right? For a one-time only request, we're asking you to generate the individual income tax form for your employees. Distribute it at the same time to them as you would your 7B form. So why? Why are we asking this question? Why are we leaning on the employers to do this? As indicated, we would really like to move ahead in getting better at serving the entire of Guyana's, the whole set of taxable payers in Guyana and other services, right? Now, in order to do that, one, we need to get those individuals on the services so we can better serve them. If we were to go through the long and tedious process of getting one taxpayer at a time coming to our offices to sign up, that would take a really long time to convert the country, right? To get them all signed up. Now they're already working for you. You have already collected a lot of their data needed for them to file. You're already submitting that to us, right? Now, if just one period, this 1 year, you produce this individual income tax form and give it to your employees, we can use that as the basis for getting them signed up. Because after you distribute it to them, they still need to sign this document confirming that these details are in fact correct and a true representation of my tax position and drop it at our offices. In doing so, all we're asking that you do is ensure that you get an email address to that staff member and include it in the Excel format that we mentioned just now. And once that employee drops the document to us, just like how you were getting email confirmation, we can send email confirmation along with a verification code to that employee so that they too can sign up. So come next year, everybody now has the electronic services to file them and perform their activities.
We get my taxes and
I did not clear that with my Commissioner General.
are we as a company who have to work for you going to get tax incentives to basically help you out? Because we're going to invest time, effort.
But let me put it this way. Indeed, you will be investing some time. Well, not really much time. It's more income people. It's more income people. But here's what. This is where you benefit. Your staff will still have to fill out their form. Like it or not, they will do that on your, some of them will do it on your work site. The other part too, they have to file at our offices. When do they do that? During lunch period? Or do they take some time off and come to it? So all of this is value back to you. Question?
I think you would appreciate that not everybody has an email address.
Yes.
And our security guard and our cleaner and all that.
That's okay. That's okay. But while some persons may not have an email address, for those who do, we like to actually bring it. You know what? I've been hearing this question over and over. I will put it to my Commissioner General and you will hear it through the television or so. But as we stand right now, let's assume it's the same time. But if he does indeed give some extra time, we will communicate him. So, I'm being reminded here, remember Form 2 submission, this is what we covered already. That is due February. But IIT is still the end of April. So we still got 2 months or so to work with after this month then to work through the details again of the IIT. Yeah.
What happened?
Good. So you still produce the file to him, but we're also communicating through our television program. The communications department is working with that. So notify employees that if they have multiple sources of income, they use that as the base data, download the same PDF fillable form from our website, fill it out using the details you provide and adding in the additional details from the other sources of income and submit that document to us. Right? So the IIT form that you'll be producing and we will demonstrate later on, we're using PDF to encode the content that you provide to produce like a barcode at the bottom. So what that allows is when the employee signs that document and drops it in, we simply have to scan that barcode and it extracts the content and puts it into our system. So we just eliminated all the data entry. We can start processing their activities, more faster. Right? It's a one-time event. Thereafter, we move over to the console. Oh, you didn't hear me? Oh, what I was saying is that we'll provide you with a utility. The utility will read from an Excel file very similar to the one that you would be producing already for Form 2 submission. It simply reads the content out of there and produces a single PDF IIT submission for each employee. So thereafter, all you have to do is print that document and distribute it to staff. So that's why I said even though it's extra work, it's not a lot of work because we're giving you the tools to ensure that you can snap through it. And the only look, if it were the case that we were asking for email address and so on in Form 2, it would have been you didn't have to perform another extra step. It was simply we could have used that document to start the process. Right? So once you have that base Excel file prepared, this is in essence the process to generate the PDFs.
After extracting the contents of the IIT PDF folders to the C drive of our computer, simply browse to the IIT PDF template folder to access the Form 2 template Excel file. Double-click or right-click and select Open to access the file. The Form 2 template Excel file comes with a row of information pre-filled to serve as a guide to the user. The cells highlighted in red are required and should be inputted at all times. The additional columns of information are not mandatory. However, the information the employer can provide, the more successful the outcome of the exercise. Simply enter the information for each employee, that is, one row of data per employee. You can copy and paste information from other files directly into the spreadsheet as per norm. Once you've completed filling in the information, be sure to delete the sample record. Then proceed to save the file. Open the bulk PDF tool, right-click on the desktop icon, then select Open. Click on the Load Configuration button. Browse to the C drive, then open the IIT PDF template folder. Select the bulk PDF IITYA 2018 Configurations bulk PDF file. The bulk PDF tool will then verify the configurations and display the final screen. Click on the Finish button. To commence creating the individual forms, click on Yes. When the Finish window appears, simply click on OK, then proceed to close the bulk PDF tool. To verify the files were created, browse to your C drive, then proceed to open the IIT PDF Output folder. You should be able to see the files created in this folder. To view and print the files, you need to use the Foxit PDF Reader. Once you've opened the Foxit Reader in the Recent Files window, select the Open tab. Browse to the IIT PDF Output folder on your C drive, then proceed to open the desired file. Once opened, confirm that the information has been populated on the form. Ensure the barcode is also visible. To print, go to the File menu and select Print. Ensure the scale settings are as follows. None, choose paper source by PDF page size. Note, where possible, you should print in duplex or two-sided printing.
Right. So there, the output folder, one PDF file for every employee. Now, in the file, there's one column that says how you want to name the output file. Take for instance, you may have several departments. In your company. You may want to name the file department name, then the person's name. So that way, when it's printed, it's going to be printed in that order. So you can take a bulk for a department and say staff this, take it to this department, and make it easier for distribution. Now, we know this works because last year we did it for all of our staff members in GI. Right? We took the same bulk utility, used the payroll data, produced the file, and distributed it to all the staff. So we, at this point, are using or eating our own dog. So we're actually using the same stuff here that we're passing to you, we're using it internally. And I can tell you that if it works, it really does improve the speed at which things are done, and our staff are quite happy that we're able to do it. But like you, it's not expensive beer up front, but we're asking you to do it once. Once. Never again. This is actually pretty similar, I think, when years ago we were rolling out the tax identification number. The GRA did reach out to employers to help with the enrollment of their staff members onto the tax return. Alright? Any questions?
Does this eliminate any question?
Pardon me?
Does this eliminate any question?
No. The individual income tax, it is the responsibility of the individual. The 7B is still your responsibility. And also, you're not filing this document on behalf of the taxpayer, the individual taxpayer. He still has to sign and file. You're just assisting him. So we've had several cases where a number of employees may not be comfortable with filling out their forms. So oftentimes they either visit one person in the office that knows how to do it, or they find a tax consultant or something to assist them. By doing this, we know what values need to go where, so we're pretty much taking away that mental load. So the question was the Excel file for the bulk generation, if it's the same as the one for the Form 2. It's very similar, because as I mentioned, for Form 2 submission, you don't need email address, right? So there are some additional fields that we ask for that are on the IIT form that are not in the Form 2. So it's a slight modification. But in essence, you can copy and paste a lot of data in. And again, because we spoke to your payroll software providers, they already have this information on how to produce this file for you. But just in case you didn't hit all of the payroll target, it would be great if you can let me know when you're leaving, who your vendor is, so we can make sure we get to that person and work through the technical details of how to get this. Or you can give them our contact details so they can call us. So again, I'm really pleading with you on the second part. I know the first part, which is yours, is really easy, but I'm really pleading with you to work with us to get the individuals onto our electronic platform. All right?